You know, a wise man once said, the fortune favors the bold. And now it looks like the fortune might have to favor the bold again at the end of the season. The Dallas Mavericks are 2-6. They most recently lost to the Pelicans last night. I finished the game this morning. The offense stinks. The guard depth stinks. And Cooper Flagg is having a rough go of it with the position change. I would like to preach patience with Cooper Flagg because I actually think this is somewhat good for his development, playing different positions, because that's the appeal of his skill set. Just being a 6'7" all-around dude, even though I think his most natural and better position going forward will be power forward or like the small ball four. But he's having a rough go of it, and there's just no identity on this team. And more so, this is what we're getting from Nico Harrison's vision. I know people are tired of talking about the Luka trade. People are just going to have to get over it. This trade was stupid, and it's inextricably linked to this team because Nico constructed this team, and it is dead last in offensive rating. It's not just dead last in offensive rating, it's dead last by a full 2 points per 100 possessions. 104 points per 100 possessions. That's fucking terrible. I mean, at least Jeremiah Fears is playing on the 27th best offensive rating in the NBA, but at a 108. Like, this offense is terrible. There's no table setter. There's no pace or tempo to it. Like, when I had the Mavericks ranked as 17th, I believe, in my power rankings going into the season, I feel like maybe some of it I may have been, watching some games post Doncic trade and then listening to people and being talked into believing that, hey, this Mavs team could be decent, could be solid, bigs everywhere, length across the board. But offensively, it's just not a functioning basketball team. There's good players. There's players who have played a lot of power forward in some of these series for the Mavericks, actually. And they're all trying to play different positions, and this team just stinks to high heaven offensively. Defensively, they're fine. They're 6th when it comes to defensive rating per cleaning the glass, which I guess if you're Nico Harrison and you preached 1,000 times in your pressers and all that shit post Doncic trade that defense wins championships, well, I guess you got what you wanted. You have a championship level defense and a rudimentary elementary school level offense. I hope you're happy. But really, this just all goes back to the inexplicable Luka Doncic trade and how this is just going to set the team back. I know the Mavericks won the lottery. It was on a 1.8% chance. Really hated how Nico Harrison acted like this was all part of his grand scheme, by the way. And now his team looks like dog shit, losing to the Pelicans. And right now, the number 1 pick kind of looks bad on a badly constructed roster that you put together. You could have done some different things to address the guard depth this summer at the very least, so Cooper doesn't have to play point flag all the time. I don't mind the point flag experiment, just like in similar ways I didn't mind the Jeremy Sohan point guard experiment when they tried that shit during Wemby's rookie year in San Antonio. I think those type of reps benefit you down the road. You're going to have fucking terrible mistakes at first, but I just think down the road, that's going to benefit you. And someone with Cooper Flagg's skill set, that's only going to benefit him more down the road. They definitely need to get him in his proper position at the 4, though. But this team is just poorly constructed. And look, they also have some injuries, but man, they should have just traded Anthony Davis over the summer. They should have done whatever they could to, well, in a sense, it's kind of like with the Sacramento Kings, although they're 3-5 right now. Maybe this is just going to be a good stealth tanking team as the season winds down because it's poorly constructed. Defensively, it's good, but offensively, there's just too much clunkiness. And then you have to decide, do you want to start Max Christie at the guard spot or D'Angelo Russell? Move Klay Thompson to the bench, who's looking kind of washed. aside from his performance against the Pelicans last night. But really handing the keys to D'Angelo Russell as your only option, the Mavericks are just not in a good place right now, and they're losing the locker room. You saw Najee Marshall comment on Luka Doncic post. It was just a bunch of sad face emojis. Klay Thompson has also said some stuff, and those two guys in particular, they came there to play with Luka Doncic. Like, I am 1,000% positive. I know it's an Instagram comment and some comments by Klay Thompson, but to me, those are clear indicators that Nico has lost the locker room. I don't know why he's still here. I don't think he's conducive for Cooper Flagg. At the very least, you look, Luka Doncic is gone. Cooper Flagg's in the building. It's time for his timeline now, right? You cannot have Nico Harrison overseeing the Cooper Flagg era. You just can't. He committed one of the dumbest trades in NBA history. He got gaslit by his friend, allegedly, to only somehow trade Luka Doncic to him without letting the rest of the league know, all because you couldn't have a conversation with him about getting in shape and shit like that, after you went to the fucking finals 16 months ago. This time last year, okay, if I go back to the season opener 2 weeks ago, at that point last year, we were talking about the Mavericks heading into the 24-25 season as contenders because they were coming off of an NBA Finals where, yes, they got beat pretty badly by a better Celtics team. But you saw the vision for the Mavericks getting to the finals. They had that incredible trade deadline. They bring in PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. We fucking lambasted them for trading those picks away. But hey, it put together the perfect roster for Luka to get to the finals. And then you fucking trade him because you don't think he'll ever get in shape, or you just can't convince him to ever get in shape. And look, the weight thing was a concern, but he made 5 straight first team All-NBA. 5 times. 5 straight times he made the All-NBA first team. And you traded that dude away. And then you win the lottery on some lightning strike 1.8% chance, and then you want to say fortune favors the bold. There's nothing bold about being this fucking stupid. We all kind of had this little dead period during the offseason and heading into training camp because the Mavericks won the lottery, and oh, you look at the roster, it's kind of talented on paper, and even I got gaslit a little bit and maybe put the Mavericks too high on my preseason power rankings. Maybe more than I should, maybe a few spots high, but you know, I was kind of swayed a little bit because I was like, you know what? They do have a lot of weight. Anthony Davis is on this team. Kyrie Irving could come back. If I were the Mavericks, I would just play out this year and just hope for the lottery because 2026 looks sick, and I can't think of nothing more than to pair my 6'9" number 1 overall pick with another possible number 1 overall pick from this really strong draft that's upcoming and just roll from there. But it can't be Nico Harrison overseeing this shit. It just can't.